My brothers and sisters, what is going on? This is still Sermon in the House, Wednesday evening with another video. And as always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Links are posted in the box down below. Talking about Diontae Johnson in this video. And you can already tell by the title that I'm not pleased with this guy, to say the very least. I'm fed up with him. I'm frustrated. And I'm telling you, I ain't the only one in this fan base. There are a lot of other Steeler fans that feel the same way about him. This guy's getting paid $18 million to be making the same mistakes that he's been making pretty much since he's a rookie. And I'll admit, when we extended him before the preseason even began back in summer, it made sense at the time. And I was excited for it because it was easy to see why. He improved greatly from his 2020 and 2019 seasons by having his first 1,000-yard season. And he had a very productive year last year on a team that was, for all intents and purposes, had no business being in the playoffs. Because we didn't. We had no business being in the playoffs last year. The only reason we even made it is because the Colts can't win in Jacksonville, and the Chargers blew their chance at getting in the playoffs when they failed to play for a tie. And that's it. It's the only reason that we even made the playoffs last year, and then we promptly got blown out of the water by a far superior team in Kansas City. So you're thinking to yourself, this offense is depleted. We don't have our Hall of Fame quarterback anymore. And now we're going to come in with either a bridge guy or a potential rookie quarterback who we're high on to be our next franchise guy. So it made sense at the time. Getting another wide receiver in the draft in George Pickens. Claypool was still here before the season began. And you're just trying to surround Kenny Pickett with as much weapons as you possibly can. You snag up Calvin Austin in the draft. A guy who the Ravens wanted, by the way. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, Diontae Johnson can follow up on that, right? He's ironing out his flaws, and he's ready to take that next step. Because $18 million ain't pocket change, I can tell you that. $18 million, that's number one receiver money. That's more than number one receiver money, to be honest with you. He's still making rookie mistakes. He's still doing stupid crap like moving backwards for loss of yardage. Still playing scared against defensive backs. And he has 0 touchdowns on the season. That's right, we're 14 weeks into the season, and he still hasn't recorded 1 touchdown this season. Is this guy worth $18 million? If you ask me, that answer is a definitive no. That was a massive mistake that we made in the offseason, and it's showing right now. Because I defended Diontae Johnson for the longest time. He's a rookie. He needs to develop. New offensive coordinator. Needs to learn the system. Well, let me tell you, Diontae Johnson's faults have nothing to do with Matt Canada. It's all on him. Matt Canada ain't out there telling him to draw passes. Matt Canada ain't out there telling him, to move backwards when you're going up against a defensive back. That ain't Matt Canada. That's on Diontae Johnson. 60 receptions this season for 105 targets. Now, I know not every single one of those are drops, but the fact of the matter is he hasn't caught 45 passes this year. Oh, and by the way, 14 weeks in the season, he still has yet to record a 100-yard game. And the worst thing about this extension is that we can't get out of it. We're trapped in it because of all the dead cap that we're going to be going up against in the offseason. So we can't get out of this contract. And no team in the league is going to be dumb enough to take on his contract because he is way overpaid. So we're screwed. We're stuck with this guy. And it's not like we have any maneuverability anyway in free agency because we're not going to have the money to do it. It's just a waste of money, man. And he has easily been the biggest disappointment with this team this year. You know? And I'm tired of people making excuses for this guy. Well, he has a rookie quarterback. Well, he has a guy who is a backup to Josh Allen. It ain't that hard to catch a ball, guys. I mean, for crying out loud, I sit down here in this room and I can catch the ball. I can't route run very well, but I can catch the ball. Plain and simple. So, the thing with me is that we need to replace this guy somehow, some way, or we need to limit him, at the very least. Which has me thinking, you know, a lot of people have been asking me, oh, what do you think of the Steelers taking Jordan Addison in the draft? Listen, I'm on board with us getting a wide receiver. But if you ask me, I think we need to go offensive line with our first pick. And then, tell you what, because Jordan Addison is probably not going to be available after the first round. But I'll tell you this, as long as the Chicago Bears keep on losing, that trade is working in our favor more and more every time the Bears take an L. So all we can hope for is that even if we do win some games, all we can hope for is that Chicago continues to lose. Because we all know the Steelers like their wide receivers, and we all know that we like to, you know, find hidden gems in the second and third round. So that's pretty much our hope if Jordan Addison doesn't fall into our laps. But as far as Diontae Johnson goes, this guy's been a massive letdown. He has been a complete disappointment with this offense. And the sad thing is, it's not like this guy's been a veteran in the league. He's only in his fourth season and he's 26 years old. This is the guy that we're paying $18 million for to be a number one receiver. And he's making the same mental mistakes that he's been making since 2019. And if you saw that Atlanta game this past Sunday, where he had two incredibly crucial drops in the game, you'd know what I'm talking about. Kenny Pickett puts a ball right in his hands, can't hang on to it. And then he had a drop pass, which was originally ruled a fumble, but after further analysis, they said that he didn't have complete control of the ball and it was an incomplete pass. Now, granted, that did help us because at least it wasn't a turnover, but it's still a drop pass nonetheless. What did I say in my pregame? You know, it's not even help out your quarterback, it's just catch the ball. For real, dude. Catch the frickin' ball. How are you getting paid all this money and you can't catch passes? How are you getting paid all this money and you have gone more than 75% of the season without recording a single touchdown? Like, not even by accident. You can't even accidentally get a touchdown. You would think that a wide receiver at any level, whether he's a number one, a number two, a number three, even an eighth or ninth option, you would think a wide receiver could accidentally catch a touchdown, right? That isn't the case with Johnson. I'm very upset with him. I'm very disappointed in him. I have lost complete faith in this guy, and he is going to have to do a complete 180 for me to get my trust with him back, because it is gone, and I don't know if it can come back. And that's all I got to say. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What do you think of Diontae Johnson? If you ask me, it's a big old $18 million mistake by the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Steel Sermon checking on out for the night. May God be with you all.